Hi, everyone. It's Susan Winter from SusanWinter.net. Thank you so much for joining me. I love, love, love these live presentations because I have the opportunity to maybe you'll call me on Magnifi. So today's theme is about the holiday blues. Whether you are suddenly single, broken up with during the holiday, missing your ex, or you're feeling alone. So if you want to call me, I will be reading here, but if you want to call me and get your question answered for free, my dear friends at Magnifi have turned off my billing system. So this is how I work with my clients normally. They call me when I'm on call, I'm on duty, and we just hash something out. So it's by the minute. It's the most awesome system. If you are a person that gives information, whether you're somebody that helps with technology or you're a consultant like I am, this is a very nice system for you as well. So if you have an iPhone, it's Magnifi, and it's a free app. So just go to the app store, download Magnifi, fill out all the information. It's going to ask you for credit card stuff. You will not be charged for what we discuss here tonight or whenever we're talking together on YouTube. So I will always have them turn it off from the central station. That's Magnifi. I so love these people. And I just have to say, I really, really love you viewers. I was trying in here the other night, so I don't have Johnny with me. Make it go, Johnny. So Johnny is I can always do everything if Johnny's right there. So I'm on my own. And I was here Sunday night. I'd taken off my makeup. I had this big sweater on and I put it on private and I'm just looking at the lighting. And suddenly I see a hi. I see another hi and I'm like, oh my goodness, I got to turn it off. Okay, so we are going to talk about your holiday blues issues with the relationship. And if you don't call me on Magnifi, I will instead read your question, but I'd really like to have a direct question and answer. So, Rebby, I'm going to read yours. Hi, everyone. First of all, hi, everyone. Some of these are code names, so it's easier to say the fast ones. Maria, Sayed, Automation, Chris, Marine. My fiance left. Oh, gosh. Okay. This is Debbie. Rebby. She says, hi, Susan. My fiance left me 3 weeks ago. We had a good relationship and he promised me a future. He said he wanted to start a family. Oh my God, I was pregnant but miscarried and he left me shortly afterwards. Wow. Okay, so Rebby, I'd kind of like you for more than a couple minutes. The best way to do this is quickies, but I'd really like to work with you privately. But let me just say, there are things that happen in our lives that are so appalling and so horrible, and they hurt so much. And I know you didn't want to lose the child, and I know you didn't want to lose him. But if it had to go anyway, this situation to go to the negative, you have the ability to start over again. I am so, so sorry. It's absolutely horrible. We have to be resilient in this life. People are going to do bad things to us. It's just the way life is. There are going to be horrible challenges, medical, financial, emotional. We have to really try and hold on to our center. Try and surround yourself with positive people, Rebby, and people that love you and support you. It's horrible that he left, but what a creep. What a creep. You wouldn't have wanted him. Oh my goodness. I'm so, so sorry to read this, but let's go on to some other calls. And again, if you want to work with me, just please feel free to reach out. Okay. Okay. Brendan would love a woman for the holidays. Good. We'll order one right up. So any women here that are interested in Brendan for the holidays, Brendan, how about beyond the holidays? Just the holidays? Just curious. Okay. These are great formats to meet people of a like mind. I oftentimes look at your chat thing in the basis of the video down underneath. And it's really cool because some of you is like, oh, thanks a lot. Altoona21, I really appreciated that. Yeah, Sam67, I really liked your comment. So you might be able to make some friends here too. All right, so what else is going on? Susan, I really need to talk to you. Is there any chance with you? I think Ahmed, you mean not chance to talk to me. You can always reach me at SusanWinter.net. No, actually, that's not going to work, but I do appreciate very much the thought behind that. Okay. Hi, everyone. Hi, Brooke. Rebbe, I'm in no contact, but it's his birthday and Christmas coming up. Should I contact? I just had a question like this, and I just did an article for Elite Daily. What do you do when it's the holidays and you text your ex? Hang on just a minute. I'll continue with that. Hi. Hi. Can you hear me? Hello? Okay, that stopped. Greg, you have to call back again. And if you're calling me on Magnifi, just turn down the laptop just so we don't get that cross feed. Here's what I'd like you to do. In order to do this, you have to ask yourself, if you reopen that door, is it okay? So texting your ex is, the holidays are a great time to do it. It's an excuse. Hey, it's the holidays, just thinking about you, wishing you well. But Rebbe, in your case, I don't know. I mean, the guy kind of proved himself. We're trying this guy again, okay? Think of what it's going to cost you. My question is, what's going to happen to you as a repercussion for taking that action? So we're trying with Greg again. Greg, hi, Greg.
Hi, Susan. How's it going? I called you last time you had the live call-in on Magnifi, so I'm so glad to connect with you again.
Thank you, and I'll be doing this over and over again. I'm going to try and do it on a monthly basis now that the Magnifi people are so good to me. All I have to do is give them a 48-hour notice, and they turn it off for me.
Perfect.
So what's up, and what can we do for you today?
So I called you last time, and I actually brought up the scenario of how I had a Christmas breakup, essentially about 2 years ago. At this point in my life, I'm actually single, and I'm just wondering, I guess, how to not obsess and, not compare myself to others and kind of, I guess, feel that drought of being single, or possible drought, I suppose. During the holidays, I often feel like people are, sometimes feeling bad for you or pitying you because they're sharing their experiences with their significant other and making all these memories over the holidays with their partner. And oftentimes you might look down on some people and say that, oh, you're alone for the Christmas holidays. And so, I'm just, I guess, looking to see what your advice is to, not compare yourself and how you can enjoy the singledom during Christmas.
That is so awesome. You can stay on if you like. I don't know if you're watching me on YouTube, but I want to make sure that you hear this, okay? So here's my answer to this. So much of this holiday thing that makes us depressed is this unbelievable commercial hype that is foisted upon us. Every commercial, they've got their loving family. The couple holding hands. Oh, he bought her a car. Oh my God. He bought her the Zales. He bought her the ring. Oh, it's love. How could you not feel depressed? I mean, look at what they do, but this is marketing. This isn't truth. This is marketing. The whole commercial empire of all this sales thing, it would stop the minute that we were just at peace. You're like, I got it. I don't need it. I don't need to buy it. No, I've got myself. This is cool. But so what happens is there is this sociological kind of a pressure about, it's not just, Greg, it's not just being single. It's like, are you having a good time with your family? Is my mother went through this. I said this on the Facebook Live that I did right before this. My mother used to get depressed during the holidays. Everybody she thought had a better time than we did. Everybody's family was bigger. I'm it. That's it. There's no more. And she thought everybody was happier. And it's a lot of hype. Now, if you're single, here are some things you can do. One, really, really steep yourself in the understanding that single is the hot new status. Single isn't just that ditch that you fall into. It's like, oh my God, I want a relationship. I'm stuck in single purgatory. Single is a real thing that people are choosing proactively. Not because they're saying I'm single and I'm celibate because I can't get anything anyway. It's that they don't want to be in partnership for now. And it is okay also to be single and wanting partnership. It doesn't mean you're desperate. And honestly, I don't think your friends are feeling sorry for you. I bet they're more concerned about, what they're going to cook and can they get all the food right? And that Uncle Timmy is coming and he might be drunk and is he going to fight with Aunt Nancy? And I think they've got their head more in that than they're thinking, oh, poor Greg, what do we do with him? I really don't think they are. So one thing that you may want to do for yourself is figure out, what could I give myself? What could I do that would be really, really fun, that I would enjoy? Is it like curling up in bed and watching Netflix, getting some Haagen-Dazs? Is it going out with some friends that are single also? Not because we're desperate and lonely, but because, hey, this is pizza night and we want to chat. Is it going to a movie? Is it calling somebody that you like and saying, listen, by the way, just want to let you know, I'd love to see you, even if it's just for a little bit of time. I know you've got your family, but do you mind if I just stop over and give you your Christmas present? And you don't have to feel pathetic about it. But this Christmas thing is, Greg, it's actually heightening the insecurity that you're feeling about the single status. It's like blue eyes, brown eyes, blonde hair, brown hair. It's not a thing. It's not much more of an identifier than that. And it's transient. It can change. So try and find something that's going to make you really happy. There was a guy that had chimed in on the Facebook Live that I did previous to this, and he said that he's going horseback riding. He's terrified of horses, but he's made the challenge to himself, and that must be like for work or whatever. He's going to do that to do something good for himself. So think about, what would you like to do that would make you happy, and try to avoid thoughts that bring you down of comparison. Remember, you're never going to win comparison. Ever, 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 ever. There's always somebody richer, smarter, younger, prettier, hotter, more influential. You can't go there. You just can't. Okay? Does that help a little bit, Greg?
Yeah, that's great. No, I appreciate it. It's great to talk to you again.
Oh, thank you.
It's I think a lot of people put stress, myself included, and they're kind of scrambling and thinking about, New Year's Eve is coming up, and we have to have a date or have somebody that we're going to spend our New Year's Eve with and make those plans, and everybody else is all anticipating and thinking about what they're going to do. So it kind of puts, like you said, a lot of undue stress on ourselves and thinking about that and anticipating it, and kind of in a panic mode. Wondering, what we're going to do, and if we have to spend New Year's alone, and how we're going to explain that one to our friends.
Oh, okay. So here's what I have to say. I suffered from this when I was a teenager in Minnesota, because in St. Paul, Minnesota, there wasn't a lot going on. And I used to look at television and see these grand parties, and I thought, oh, I'm missing out on everything. Then I end up in the city that's got everything going on in New York City. And I did that a couple of years in a row, and I thought, oh, what a nightmare. Oh my God, before Uber and Lyft and all this stuff to try and get a cab, everybody's drunk. I'm trying to find my girlfriend's jackets. I used to wear a Viking helmet so they could find me. I'm stone cold sober. It wasn't, it wasn't what it was cracked up to be. And again, it's the same competition. And everybody's going to post these amazing photos the next day. Oh, we were at so-and-so, right? And how many people were at home in their PJs eating Haagen-Dazs and watching the ball drop on television? Those photos you never see. I would like to do that for myself one day. Like really ugly hair, no makeup. I'm there. I'm watching the ball drop, and it's like and you know what? That's more people's New Year's than you can even imagine. But they're not going to post that, are they? So again,
no, that's correct. Yeah.
This is social pressure. This is social pressure, and the bigger image is that when we start to get free of this, those are the claws that kind of keep us down. It's socialization, and it's trying to seduce us into this group thought that we're not enough. And little by little, if you can release the tentacles of this and see through that, it's all about marketing. It's all about image. And remember, people that really know themselves, they don't have to prove it to anybody. But find some things that you think would make you happy. I would ask you to do an assignment for me. I'd like you to write down 5 things that make you feel good. even if it's walk outside, play with my dog, shoot hoops, go to the gym, have a slice of pizza, call my friend, and figure out which of those things, or if you can do all five on Christmas or on New Year's too. Okay?
Right. Sounds like a great plan. Yeah, for sure. Like I said, it is all about the marketing and the advertising, and not getting caught up in that is definitely a great plan. And so to enjoy Christmas, and so
Okay.
I appreciate it. Thank you very much. It's great talking to you again. Enjoy
You too,
your Christmas. Greg. Have a happy New Year.
Okay. Thank you, Greg. You too. Take care. Bye-bye. Thank you. I just love this. I really, really love talking to you people. Okay. So this is one of my regulars. Hang on. Yes, but you'll be live. Okay. So this is another feature. So when I have somebody that wants to talk to me, I change my hours sometimes during the day. And I probably should just say like 10 to 7. But sometimes what happens is, I don't know, I take a golf lesson, or I have to go to the store, or I get a chance to go to the gym. So I would actually change the times. And so regular people will say, are you free at 2? If I'm really able to, and you've got an urgent question and I see it come through, I'll do my best to answer it. This is one of my clients that I just adore. Okay. Hi. How are you doing?
I'm well. How are you, Susan?
I'm good. You're on YouTube Live, just so you know. Everything you say is being recorded, and it's also a free call. Okay.
Good. Okay, good. Yeah, just wanted to reach out to you and discuss a few things.
Okay.
Specifically in regards to older women, younger men. And I know that you.
Why would you call me?
That is, I know that's where you started, but you've expanded.
Okay.
What you talk about and where your expertise is. I'm now, as you know, we've kind of done several coaching sessions together. I'm now 6 months into a relationship, and I'm really starting to get deep into it and set the foundation and figure out what each of our roles are in the relationship, and about setting boundaries, and dealing with power struggle at times, and things like that. At this point, what kind of things would you recommend really taking into consideration? Being with the age difference and the kids being involved and setting up our foundation. The more that we become almost a family. And making sure that I'm, things I'm being considerate of as we approach the next, as we approach 6 months to a year, and as we dive deeper into this.
Okay, is she letting you in to the family all the way? Yeah. Okay? Yeah, so that's
all family events.
This is wonderful. Okay.
Participating with the kids, staying there with the kids.
Okay.
All that, absolutely. Mm-hmm.
So, are there overnights?
There is, yes.
With the children there?
There is, yeah.
That's progress. I remember when that wasn't on the board, so this is very good. But first of all, you're an extraordinary client. You don't need much adjustment. You need a tweak, and basically for me to say what you're thinking about is actually correct. So I want to remind you, though, and women, I love you. I'm a woman, but younger men, she's not always right just because she's an older woman. She's not always right, and it's not always her way that's the right way. So what I suggest is when you come to an impasse in the power struggle thing, because sometimes the older woman might think, hey, this is a category I know, this is the way it is, and be dictatorial without even meaning to. She just like, I've lived life, I know this is the way I want it to be. I would say to you to put whatever the issue is on the table between the two of you. Try to succinctly state what your issue is. I want to feel more included in these family events, and I'd really like to see when Saturday night into Sunday and going out for breakfast is going to happen. Or I'd like to know when I could meet your family, or I'd like to know, meeting your parents, and I'd like to know when you're going to put us on Facebook as a couple. When is that status change coming? This would make me happy. Now, all we can do is have you put it out there. As I've told you before, you just put it out there and you let her ruminate about it. And then you might say, here's why it's important to me and why it would make me feel really good and that I'm wanted, that I'm in this relationship with you. So then I would also ask you to listen to what she is saying back to you as to what may be her resistance. It may be something like, if I do it, it's going to kick up a storm with my ex, or I don't want my neighbor to start blah, 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 blah. So listen to what she has to say, but you guys are very good at this communication thing. And I think you've really gotten it down so that it's working for you. But, just the power struggle, you guys are going to be jockeying for who gets what category in the relationship.
Right, and who takes the lead with what?
Yeah, yeah. I had one of my boyfriends said, he finally threw up his hands. He said, Susan, give me driving in the snow. For God's sake, you've got everything else. At least give me driving in the snow. Because he wanted to drive my friend because it was snowing. I'm like, honey, I grew up in Minnesota in like 3 feet of snow. I'll drive. And he looked at me. He goes, you don't let me do anything. I want a category. I want driving in the snow. And I said, okay, baby, you got it. You got driving in the snow. So, I mean, you're going to get more exciting categories than driving in the snow, Creighton.
What kind of things do you? I mean, we're approaching our first holiday season together and trying to keep that as simple and straight to the point. What kind of things do you?
I'd get
come to mind for you.
Really meaningful card that's got some depth to it, or a beautiful card that has a beautiful image that's blank on the inside, and you just write from your heart. It's not a treatise. It is maybe 4 or 5 sentences that are absolutely from the heart, and a gift that you think is meaningful to her specifically. You know her now 6 months in. What would you give her that she would know, wow, he really gets me? And knowing you, you probably got some jewelry, something going on, right? You're such a classy. He's so young too. Ladies, the good ones exist. Please don't think they don't. I talk to them. I know them. Good ones do exist.
When do you think this age issue really becomes an issue?
It can be an issue anytime they want it to. If they're not feeling right about themselves. But sometimes it becomes an issue further on as women are going through the change of life. They're going to hot flashes. They're getting moody. Your whole hormones go absolutely wacky. You wake up in the morning and you look at a body and you go, that's not my body. I didn't have love handles. Where did these come from? So that can be a trying time. But I know your gal is beautiful and she's in shape, and that's not going to happen to her. You're going to have to just take one step at a time. You're at 6 months. But when a couple is in for good and you're going to go through some changes with her, she's going to have some age milestones earlier than others, that you wouldn't encounter with a same age woman. But then again, you also wouldn't have the content and the depth and the quality of love that you're getting, because women learn in time how to fully be themselves. Some in their 20s, they're just out there. They're completely integrated and self-aware. They're kind of the unicorns. They're the exceptions. Most of us have to go through our own journey of evolution to really show up and love you guys with all that we have within us. So that's, it's something you're just going to negotiate. There may be a time that you want to do something in the gym and she's like, babe, I can't do that. Like, I'll take the lighter version of that.
Right. Yeah, absolutely.
Or she may retire first, or she doesn't sound like a girl that'll ever retire.
Oh yeah, just maybe in time. At some point, I don't know. Just don't know. You don't know what you're going to do with it.
Yeah, we just have to take one thing at a time. All I know is you're doing wonderfully, and there are power conflicts in couples. I mean, each person wants to retain I'm the best at this or that. But in partnership, we're going to find where we're comfortable. Really be dogged about the things that are super important to you. And you can do it gracefully and you can do it diplomatically, just quick in and out. No, honey, this is really important to me. I'd like you to hear me out on this one. And then let it go. Don't push, because the more we push for somebody to immediately change their mind, sometimes we just need to present it, tell them why it's so important, stop talking, walk away from it. And a couple days later, you might find that they bring it up of their own volition.
Yeah. What about control between her feeling like I am trying to control her in certain aspects?
I know what you're talking about exactly. Okay. So we've been working together. You have to explain why it is that you want what you want and how it impacts you in the relationship for her to understand. One of the things I like to do is to do the reversal. If I did this to you, how would you feel? You'd be crazy. You would absolutely go ballistic. So understand this is how it affects me.
Mhm.
Let's see what happens with that one. Okay?
Yeah, I think part of that control is to try to protect myself.
You know, the best we can do is to state what we want and need and let it go. They heard you, and that way we're not pushing so hard. And the real self-discipline is to walk away, to say it, to be very clear, and to stop talking and walk away.
Right, right. I think one thing I've noticed with in dating with an older woman is the difference with the ages. So most people in their 20s get caught up in wanting things quickly, instant gratification.
Right, right.
And also, what's next? What's next? What's next?
Right,
and,
right.
Setting a next step, setting a next goal, whatever that may be. And somebody that's been who just has a busy life and is caught up in life and just goes day to day, with having 2 kids and full-time job and all that comes with that, being a single mom. People that like in that situation tend to just look at it day by day, or I don't know, why is there always got to be a next step, or what, why you always got to be wanting more.
Oh, you're saying because she's overwhelmed. Well, you're a planner, but you're a planner. Look you're so young. You own your own home. I mean, you're doing stuff that people don't do till they're in their 40s. So
right.
you're trying desperately to get it right. And if anything, I think you're overworking a little bit. You don't have to work that hard, because every time we talk, I end up telling you to trust yourself. Couple little things, I'll give you clues, but you don't need that much micromanagement. You really don't. Your instincts are correct. And I wish all of us would trust our instincts a little bit more, and to trust ourselves that we didn't get that feeling for nothing. And maybe we are right. But always, if you have somebody you trust to run it by, that's a professional or somebody that is very, very objective and positive, that's a good sounding board. So Creighton, I'm going to get off and try and get a hold of some of these other people, but I think you're doing awesome, and it's so good to talk to you. Thank you.
Thank you very
much. You're my superstar. Okay.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
All right, dear. Okay, talk to you later. Bye-bye. I'm so proud of this guy. He's so amazing. So I wanted to get back to some of you, and I didn't want to be ignoring you. Oh, I see lots of names that I know. Hi, Lee Orse. How are you? All these wonderful letters. Okay, Jeannie, sorry to hear. Okay, now I love the fact that while I've been talking to my client, all of you people are talking to each other. So this is wonderful. So let's talk about some of the things. We brought up this being single during the holidays. That's difficult, granted. And has anybody here besides Rebbe gone through this holiday breakup? We've had holiday breakups. We've got the fact that you could be missing your ex. Does anybody have that going on? So what happens when we miss our ex? The holidays are a time that we start to think about our person. And again, as was stated before, we start to look at everybody else and they seem to be coupled. But it's really a matter of our perspective, because if you want to focus the mind on couples, that's all you're going to see. I remember I had a friend once who called me sobbing, going, everybody's coupled but me. I'm like, where are you? Where did you go? Did you go out to dinner on a Saturday night by yourself and looked at all the tables of twosomes? I mean, where did you go? It's because her mind was locked and fixated on seeing couples. And so because of that, because she felt so badly, I'm alone, she didn't look at happy, lonely people. She'd look at some sad, lonely person and think, oh, that's me. So we have to really work on our confidence here, and we have to work on shooting the image correctly, not with a lot of filters that are inaccurate. So let's see if I can catch any. Hi from Lebanon. Don't you just love this? Hi, Laura. How are you doing? Okay, let's see. Joanne, Luke. Luke is definitely missing his ex. So Luke, what do you miss about your ex? Was it really that great? I think we have to figure out you will always miss that person unless you can walk away with more that you've gained than what you've lost. It's an exercise. You have to do it. You have to find what you got that you get to keep. Because imagine if you think that person came into your life and they trotted off and all their goodies are with them and they're like, there they go into the sunset. You're going to feel so dismayed. Um, I would suggest you use what worked as a prototype of what you want to create next. And I know it sounds like listen, we have to go through these steps to be resilient. A lot of our mental and emotional despair, it's caused because of our thoughts, because we start thinking something that really makes us go downhill. And there's a fine line between taking an analytical look at ourselves and trying to correct something and really being hard on ourselves. So let's try the world. The world can get tough every day. We go through challenging situations. Let's try to find a place where we can cut ourselves some slack and think well of ourselves and resist the temptation to go down that rabbit hole. Okay. Oh, good. You're talking to each other. That's nice. Talk to each other. That's wonderful. Cole says it's my first single Christmas in a decade and I'm doing just fine. Cole, fantastic. Yes, you'll survive being single. It's not a thing. So I've been pushing for a long time. I get so upset when people put negative labels on natural things. Natural. Sometimes you're going to be partnered. Sometimes you'll be single. Sometimes when you're single, you don't want to be single. Other times when you're single, you think, oh, thank God, I've got some privacy and I can focus on my own life. And I'm not sure I'm ever going back. It can happen like that. And all of these phases, they're okay. They can be permanent. They can be temporary. But they all deserve to be honored. There is nothing wrong with being single. And believe me, I'm the woman that advocates for love. Nothing wrong with being single. What we want to do, what we want to avoid, try to wipe these glasses, what we want to avoid is becoming single because we're afraid to love and we're afraid to be hurt. We have to work on being a little bit braver. It's just life, guys. We know the end of the story, okay? Just live. Choose wisely. Learn from your mistakes. Make correction. And the mistakes aren't really mistakes. If you never saw it before and suddenly it happened to you, you've got no prior knowledge of how this went. It's not a mistake. It's the first time out of the box. You're not supposed to get it right. You don't know. We've got to be a little bit kinder to ourselves. Okay, so going to continue here. Okay, Cole, great for you. Somebody had a bad day at work. Okay. Good. I'm happy that you're talking to each other. Let's see. How to attract my mother's friend. If you'd like an older woman, I would go outside of your mother's social circle. That's going to just be better for everyone. You guys, older women, younger men, it's not like a fetish. If you happen to find somebody and they are older, or you resonate with women that are older because you like, I don't know, the seriousness or the depth or whatever, that's cool. But it's not a thing that you have to do. It's like if you find somebody and their skin is a different color, or their religion is a different color, don't let it hold you back. What I'm asking is, open your mind sometimes to looking at what's in front of you. It might come in a package you didn't expect, but you don't have to chase something that's different because, oh, it's a trend or because this one did it or whatever. Find out what's right for you. Just find out what works for you. 2 years, almost no guy. Am I cursed? No. But the question is, are you working with somebody? And this isn't to sell anything, but you're watching these videos, that's good. But if something's not happening in anything, in our love life, in our business life, if it's not happening, we got to ask why. What am I doing or not doing? And you may need to have somebody who has an objective eye stand back and say, you're not on any dating apps. You haven't updated your wardrobe. You don't even know what you want. So you're going out and sending mixed signals. So you really could use another set of eyes to evaluate what's going on, because if it's 2 years, there might be something quite simple that you could do. That quite simple. So please don't let it go any more than you would like, "Oh, I've got this little mark on my arm that keeps growing. What should I do?" Go to a professional, okay? Please answer Olga's question. I don't know. I'm gonna try. Here's Olga. Okay. I've heard that men almost always come back, but women almost never. What are your thoughts on that? Hmm. Historically, when a woman's really done, and she's turned the corner, it may be hard to get her back. And here's the weird thing. We will put up with so much abuse and take so many apologies and try desperately to keep that love alive. But when we've turned that corner and we are done, generally, we're done. It isn't always. There are times that whatever her partner did, male or female, whatever they did, there has been enough time that's passed and there's been enough of a substantial discussion and a correction on the part of the mate, the former mate, to prove, give me one more chance, and it does work. Okay, so that can indeed happen. So whoever said answer Olga's question, I answered it. Okay. Oh, men will sometimes come back. Yeah, there are some very proud men that will not. They want to, but they won't let themselves. So maybe the question is, do they want to and won't let themselves? Because that's often the case. Toronto, Canada thinks you're great, Susan. Nerd incognito Sue. So, by the way, the people that I adore that are the principals of Magnifi that give me this on-demand app where you can call me and where I do my consultations, they're from Toronto. And I have to tell you, I have a girlfriend who's from Toronto, and my cousin Tom says that the nicest people in the world are from Canada. So I was right underneath you as a Minnesotan, but thank you very much. That's great. Choosing to be single and grow for a bit has really created a strength in me the past 8 months. That is wonderful. I used to take huge intervals, 6 months, a year. I've done a year and a half. Didn't bother me at all. I just went into a headspace because I remember getting out of a relationship and I'd barely dust myself off and somebody would be on me again. And I didn't have time to think and regroup. And I would be nice and kind of push away. And it wasn't that wasn't a lovely person, but when I was younger, I didn't know myself. I didn't know how to say no. And I think all of us, if you're like not seeing what you like, unlike the person who said it's been 2 years, and you just kind of want to ground yourself in stability, take a time out. Give yourself a month, 2 months, 3 months. Say, this is about me. And if you see somebody who's wonderful and they come in, say, could we talk for a while? I promised myself I'd do 4 weeks without dating. I promised myself I'd get time to go to the gym regularly and really establish that as a part of my daily routine because I lose it the minute I get into partnership. So whatever it is, whether it's focusing on a new startup or your job, or you just need to take care of an elderly parent or whatever, if you need to take a break, take a break. And if you meet somebody wonderful, explain. Say, I really like you. I'm not playing hot and cold. Okay. Let's see. Oh, you guys have given me so many wonderful things. Let's see. Can someone call me? I need help with a relationship. Listen, there are wonderful people that you can reach on Magnifi, Magnifi. You can talk to any one of them. And this is not a place to actually be doing that. There are people in my profession who will be happy to help you. And all of their information is listed normally in the description. You can find that. Okay. Hey, we're nice in the US too. We are. Yes, we are. Okay. I left a narcissist. It took me years to see the pattern. Here's the weird thing about unhealthy people. I used to say this as an excuse, like, I would never beat my little doggy. I can't imagine, but people do. And I would never want to play mind games on people and use them like I'm just playing a remote control, like, ooh, I'll push this button. Oh, look at, she exploded. Oh, yeah, now I'm going to get him here. Oh, yeah, that's good. Yeah, I just watched them cry and run away. Oh, yeah, I just destroyed his happiness that he thought he had such a good job and I made him feel terrible. I can't even imagine the mentality. And a friend of mine said, Susan, thank God you can't. So if you're not understanding a narcissist, you weren't sick, but you got exposure to this condition and now you're smart. So that's what happens. Yeah, it's very seductive. You just don't know. People go into relationships with high hopes. We come in as a loving person. We're not expecting how they're going to switch. And it happens not all the time, but it does sometimes. Let's see, same here, narcissist. Oh, we could go on forever with that. A guy randomly texts me and then disappears. At one point, he even wanted to meet my family and have dinner with them. Um, he wants me to be a girlfriend. Wait, let me go back. Why would he has a girlfriend. Why would he want to invest in me to meet? This is just a player. Here's a general rule of thumb. Sometimes I read these things and I'm like, they start to be. So when you guys do the video requests, I got one that's like, I'm dating a narcissist and we're in a love triangle. And I'm like, wait, stop. Don't even go any further. This is like, you've got to be kidding. It's not that hard. Let's start with some good material. That's impossible. Why do we find it so interesting to figure out these sick neuroses? I mean, don't we have better things to do? Just check it off and say, oh, that's a not interested. That goes in the I can't deal with you basket. Don't, why would somebody do it? Who cares? Who cares why they do it? All you need to know is this doesn't feel right. I don't care I don't need to put a label on you. I don't need to go read through the book and give you a psychological, analysis. I don't need to find a label for what it is. I just need to know this isn't something I want to do. And I don't even think I want to talk to you about it. So this is the thing. Relationships are easy. And that's the hard thing about it. They're actually fairly easy. What you're looking for is somebody who wants to be in a relationship and wants to be in a relationship with you. And you want somebody who makes you feel good about yourself. And you want somebody who has a generally positive attitude and who is kind and thoughtful. And yes, I do understand they're not around every corner. But don't you notice? Then here's the disrupt. And what are you attracted to? Huh? Who's the one that really catches your eye? Is it that really hot looking tiger that you know is a hot mess, but oh my God, they look so good? And there's something that goes on. And that's not where you're going to find that kind of person. We can eliminate a lot of these problems by being a better chooser, but we have an automatic attraction to the impossible. So just understand when those bells and whistles start going off, just remember you're attracted to the impossible. Okay, I'm taking one more call. This is my last call. And here we go. Thank you. Thank you again for calling me on Magnifi, everyone. Hi, can you hear me? Hi, how are you? Just so you know, you are on YouTube Live, so everything you are saying to me will be heard. Hello? 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 Well, I know he went in and out of wherever he was. Okay. That is one of my personal clients, but I think all of you need to know that if you're talking on this mechanism while it's free, that's awesome. Understand too that you may want to use a different username, or you may want to use code names for your partner, or the details of the situation. I want you to be safe, and I want it to be anonymous for you if you like. I found Susan because a girl was doing hot and cold. I got myself out of it. Susan taught me how to get out of it. You're so sweet. Thank you. You guys are absolutely wonderful. I'm just about ready to wrap up. So some of you are talking about older women, younger men. Some of you are talking about the holidays. So here's what I'd like. Send me your suggestions for the next one. We can talk about anything you want. If nothing's going on and people are like, nobody's talking about the holidays, I'll pick a question out of here. But it's really lovely when I can hear from you. And you guys, I have to thank you so much. You've been so wonderful. I really, really appreciate it. I do read your awesome comments, and I wish all of you a very Merry Christmas, very happy holidays, US, Canada, all around the world. Isn't this an incredible platform where I can talk to you personally, where we can get together and we can sort out this love bit? So I just really, really appreciate all of you. SusanWinter.net. Feel free to come to my channel. Feel free to contact me through the video requests. Call me on Magnifi, Magnifi, free app on iTunes, on Apple. No, not Apple. On your iPhone. It's been a lot. I've been doing this for 2 hours. It's a free app. You download it, and then I charge by the minute. But on these sessions, when they're coming up, whenever it says Magnify, it's for free. And I'll let you know that in the description, okay? I hope all of you have a fantastic, fantastic, happy holiday. Remember, if you're by yourself, think of something that would really, truly make you happy. Actually take time to do it. I had crafted a day. I was part of Thanksgiving. I wanted to be alone. The other part, I had stuff going on. I wanted to turn off the phone, stop consulting, get in bed, and just watch something. I never did. I ended up working with clients, but I'm like, so I've got to take my own instructions. But everyone, thank you so much for making it a wonderful 2018 for me. You guys have been awesome. I can't do this without you. We're in it together. Stay strong and stay resilient and keep your heart open. Your heart open, but a dignified, self-possessed love that you own. You own your love. Remember that. You're the one that owns it. You choose where you're going to put it. So start to choose wisely. Next time all the bells and whistles are going off and it's going ding, 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 say, does that match the description of what I was looking for? Somebody who wants a relationship and wants it with me, somebody who's sweet and kind and thoughtful. Maybe I'll pass on this one. Everyone, you guys are absolutely wonderful. Happy holidays, everyone. Thank you, thank you, thank you. My wonderful audience here. My very best to all of you. Bye-bye now. Merry Christmas. Happy New Year. Bye-bye.